laugh too hard.
Davey Dysaster holding that Cruiserweight champion. Davey Dysaster is another example of somebody who's traveled around everywhere and done everything, and he has an impressive resume. And he is looking to showcase that impressive resume against the sexy Cowboy Bryn Watts tonight. I'm excited to see this one-on-one contest. Davey Dysaster looking at the fans, not impressed with them. He's got that cold, dead stare. Standing proud middle of the ring, holding that Wild Rose Sports Association Cruiserweight champion.
His opponent, weighing in at 194 pounds from Stillwater, Oklahoma, sexy Cowboy Bryn Watts.
The roof is about to go off. Cowboy Bryn Watts. Everybody is stomping along. They're gonna be hooting and hollering when he comes out. Oh! Going for the stylish approach. And he's waiting to hear the fans. He needs a little bit of an eruption. And I don't blame him, he's the sexy Cowboy. Still coming off that impressive victory against Sydney Steele at the Windy City Showdown. And he is feeding off this energy. Time for some style points. He is ready to start the match. Davey Dysaster making a retreat. Nobody gets behind Cowboy Bryn Watts like the fans of Pure Power Wrestling. He is an enigma. Every single person in the Fritz 6 Center is raising their arms with sexy Cowboy Bryn Watts. And Davey Dysaster trying to get that type of reaction too. Doesn't seem to work that way. Cowboy Bryn Watts back up to the top. And listen to that crowd. There is a clear favorite here tonight, and it's Cowboy Bryn Watts. Bryn Watts and Davey Dysaster set to square off. This is their first ever encounter. The bell has been rung and this match is official. Davey Dysaster, the Wild Rose Sports Association Cruiserweight Champion. Cowboy Bryn Watts coming off that hot victory against Sydney Steele, that unsanctioned match, the NMAX Center. men have very different styles. Cowboy Bryn Watts saying what everybody's thinking. I don't think you suck, Davey Dysaster, don't worry. Davey Dysaster rolling out of harm's way, rolling out of the ring. He wants to start this match on his own conditions. I think he's trying to give some excuses to the ref, Riley Brooks, the loudest referee I've ever been in contact with. Cowboy Bryn Watts holding up that ring rope, trying to lure Davey Dysaster in. Davey Dysaster already at a 6 count. This match could be over before it started. The only thing Davey Dysaster likes more than alliteration is holding that Wild Rose Sports Association Cruiserweight Championship. Luckily, he doesn't have to defend it here tonight. And he is playing some head games with Cowboy. Davey Dysaster saying he's the champ, he'll do what he wants. And Cowboy's getting a little agitated. You won't like Cowboy when he's angry. Cowboy is giving chase to Davey Dysaster. Davey Dysaster going in the ring, eluding him again, sliding right out the other side. Davey Dysaster really working in that referee's count. And it looks like Cowboy Bryn Watts has caught up to Davey Dysaster. And bounces his head off. The crowd, the fans are saying they want it one more time. It looks like Cowboy Bryn Watts might be listening to them. One more time, yeah, come on. Davey Dysaster's head bouncing off the ring apron. Other than the post, that's the hardest part of the ring. A simple 1 count. Cowboy Bryn Watts is fired up. He is ready to stomp a mud hole and walk it dry, if I do say so for myself. Look at those stomps, unrelenting on Davey Dysaster. Another 1 count. Has Davey Dysaster in the corner looking for an Irish whip. Sends him to the other side of the ring, lining up his opponent. Bryn Watts is on fire. Bryn Watts is taking it to Davey Dysaster in a first time ever special attraction match. Bryn Watts feeding off the energy of the fans. Oh, and Davey Dysaster getting that boot into the face of Bryn Watts. And I believe that was a bicycle kick of some sort, maybe an axe kick. Davey Dysaster ruining the momentum of Cowboy Bryn Watts. And now he's choking the life out of him. Ref Riley Brooks has the count. He only has till a count of 5 to let go of that. And bouncing off of Bryn Watts. Davey Dysaster now has the match in his control. He's got to be careful not to let the fans get his attention. Now this would normally be a part in the show where I'd say, hey, my old pal Bulldog, what's it like getting an elbow to the back of the neck and then an uppercut to the front of the face? And he would be like, Harley, do you want to try it? And I would say no. A clothesline into the corner from Davey Dysaster. Davey Dysaster with a disastrous chop. Almost as disastrous as his spelling of disastrous. And Bryn Watts has got a second wind firing back at Davey Dysaster. It's almost like that chop gave him a new life. And that chop just gave me a new eardrum pop. I can't hear anything anymore. Oh, there's my hearing. It just came back. What a chop to Davey Dysaster. Oh! And that suplex. You see Bryn Watts rolling through that suplex, giving the impact of the suplex entirely onto the back of Davey Dysaster. A 2 count from ref Riley Brooks. Cowboy Bryn Watts does not seem phased. He is focused. He's got that tunnel vision. Driving the shoulder into the midsection of Davey Dysaster in that corner. A scoop and a slam. Bryn Watts bounds off the ropes and misses the elbow drop. Oh, he played a little bit too much for the crowd. Davey Dysaster was able to pick his spot and move out of the way at the right moment, forcing Cowboy to land on his own arm. Cowboy needs that arm for all those lariats he delivers. And a scoop and a slam from Davey, and a huge leg drop to boot. You won't keep the Cowboy down for very long with a scoop slam and a leg drop unless you're Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry, that's just the way she goes. Trying to Irish whip the sexy Cowboy. You gotta have a sexier Irish whip than that, Davey Dysaster. Like that one, there you go. Oh, and an elbow, a back elbow catches Bryn Watts in the face. Ref Riley Brooks trying to put some separation in between the two. Davey Dysaster not wasting any time, going after Bryn Watts. Oh, and he drives the lower back of Cowboy Bryn Watts into the corner of the ring. That's gotta hurt. Cowboy Bryn Watts is gonna have the pattern of a black ring apron on the small of his back. Oh, and he sends him into that post. That post is made out of the hardest metal known to man. You do not want to run into a post like that. And the count was broken. It was up to a count of 6. Ref Riley has to restart the count. Bryn Watts rolling Davey Dysaster in the ring and lining him up. What's he gonna do? And it looks like he got an elbow or a forearm into the chest or throat of Davey Dysaster. Davey Dysaster might be coughing up blood. And a jumping leg drop onto the chest of Davey Dysaster. A 2 count. Bryn Watts is having some fun in there. Bryn Watts is on a confident hot streak. Bryn Watts, you don't want to mess with a guy like him. Davey Dysaster too, though. He's champion for a reason. Wild Rose Sports Association Cruiserweight champion. We saw Davey Dysaster fight Travis the Heat Copeland at Maximum Impact, and what a match that was. We see a fisherman suplex from Cowboy Bryn Watts. That was a beautiful fisherman suplex. Just a 2 count. Maybe if you hooked the leg a little bit more. Open hand slap to the face of Davey Dysaster. Davey Dysaster doesn't want another one of those, so he rakes the eyes of Cowboy Bryn Watts. Cowboy can't see. It's almost as if he got a bunch of dust in the eyes from riding the trails on horses. You know what sexy cowboys do. Davey Dysaster having some words with Ref Riley Brooks. He should be focusing on his opponent. Bryn Watts still can't see though. While Bryn Watts tries to regain his vision, I think Davey Dysaster is going to get a lot of the upper hand here. Just like that uppercut in the corner. Davey Dysaster pushing and choking the face and neck of Bryn Watts into the corner there. I wonder what kind of insurance Davey Dysaster has on that beautiful head of hair. That's like the head of hair of a lion. It's a lion's mane. Davey Dysaster, I might be speaking out of turn on this one. Dare I say, the most beautiful head of hair in the wrestling world today. Cowboy Bryn Watts gets to the middle rope, and oh, he's going to the top. He psychs out the top rope, chooses to go from the middle rope. Huge drop kick on Davey Dysaster. It's a triple D, a drop kick on Davey Dysaster. Damn, quadruple D, there we go. Davey Dysaster getting things back in his side of things. He wants control, but he needs to pay less attention to the ref and the crowd if he wants to get Bryn Watts on the mat for the 1-2-3. Double underhook. Bryn Watts stomps out of it. Bryn Watts. Oh, and he hits the stampede. This could be it. 1, 2, 3. Cowboy Bryn Watts gets the 3.
Here is your winner, Sexy Cowboy Bryn Watts.
Wow, what a match. Sexy Cowboy Bryn Watts, Davey Dysaster, first time ever. That was evenly matched. Davey Dysaster coming up short, but a very impressive display of skills from Davey Dysaster. Davey Dysaster, what is he doing? Oh, and a jumping DDT, a double underhook jumping DDT takes out Bryn Watts. And you gotta know, Bryn Watts had that pile driver delivered to him from Sydney Steele on the outside of the ring, and it injured his neck. You gotta wonder what the state of the neck of Bryn Watts is like now after that double underhook jumping DDT from Davey Dysaster. not very sportsmanlike of Davey Dysaster, but he doesn't have to be. And he spits on the ground. Davey Dysaster. And he had some choice. Oh, he looked at me. That cold dead stare, he just looked at me. After delivering some choice gestures to the audience, the crowd, the fans here of Pure Power Wrestling, Davey Dysaster, he isn't a fan of the fans, and I'm curious.